Hi, so welcome to yet another data engineering pipeline. Yeah, and today we're going to shift our focus and we're going to be using AWS as our cloud service provider. Yeah, and the project layout will be getting data from an API and we'll be using Airflow, which is running on an EC2 instance that will connect to AWS to our local system, and that remote connection will facilitate us uploading data from an API to S3. Yeah, all these code will be available in the description of the video. Yeah, and this is follow up to our project that you have done. Remember, you have done two API projects. One was getting data to a CSV, the other one was getting data to Docker, and that was Postgres on Docker. And this one, we're going to be getting data from an API to cloud, that's S3. And from there, you can use Glue to load it to Redshift. Yeah, so my name is Simon Gugi, and I'll be an instructor for this project. Yeah, so let's get right into this project. And as you can see, our layout will be getting data from an API. This is will be the weather API. Yeah, weather API, and we are going to be streaming that data using an EC2 instance that will be connecting it to our local machine, that is VS Code, via an SSH. Yeah, and then you're going to have two scripts. One is the main Python script, main script, and the other one is the DAG. So the DAG will be automating this main script one, and the other function will be to load to S3. So these are very simple projects that you can implement on your own, and you can create it as your portfolio project. Yeah, so and also you can add Athena to load your data. When you have your data in S3, you really don't need your data to be in the data warehouse, since you're duplicating data unless you're doing some transformations. And in this video, we are doing the transformations before we load. Yeah. So this is an ELT pipeline. We are doing the so this is an ELT pipeline. So no, this is an ETL pipeline still. Sorry. So we get our data, then we transform it while in VS Code and load it. Yeah, it's just that we don't have the data warehouse. So this is an ETL pipeline. Yeah, and the services that you're going to be using, you have the EC2. We won't use the Redshift. We will use the IAM. We will also use the Glue. Yeah, no, we won't use the Glue. We also won't use Athena. We might use CloudWatch if we get errors and we want to monitor our errors. Yeah, so I think we should get right into this project. So the first thing is EC2. We are going to be creating an EC2 instance. So we should open this. Yeah, so we should launch instance. And all this you'll be able to do with the free tier account, by the way. So yeah, you don't need to worry. Yeah, so we are going to be creating an Ubuntu machine. So let's name it, what do we name it? Weather YouTube. Yeah, Weather YouTube, because I have similar instances that I've named weather, and I don't want there to be a conflict. So it's an Ubuntu machine. So yeah, you don't need to change the image AMI. Yeah, so instance type, this is where we'll change. I want us to use the T3 medium, not even small, medium. Incur some cost. If you use T3 micro, you will regret it. Your instance will keep on failing now and then. So you can also create a new key pair. So do we name this? We name it YouTube. Yeah, I'll show you how to connect this remotely with your system. Yeah, so we have there. It has downloaded. It should download. So it has downloaded this. You can see there. Security group. Yeah, we should allow SSH from internet, HTTP from traffic. Yeah, so you know we are going to be accessing Airflow, and we need to key that in. So yeah, launch instance. Yeah, so it has launched. So you should come here, instances. Instances, and you should see it's here, it's running. So there's some things that you will change. Yeah, so some things like has it gone to? So you're going to change security, and you're going to select that you can access this from localhost 8080. So you're going to change the inbound rules. Make sure you set this to you add 8080, otherwise you will not access it, and you will debug for hours. Yeah. So inbound rules, edit inbound rules, and we add rule. You have custom TCP remains the same, and here there will be 8080, and here will be IPv4 anywhere, and you're going to save rule. Yeah, so it's good. So you can come back to instances. Come back to instances. Yeah, so it's come back and want us to connect this. So you're going to connect, and EC2 connect, and you're going to connect. So now here is where we're going to set up our airflow. Yeah. So it should establish a connection. Yeah, and we have some commands that will be keying in. Sudo apt update. If you have used the Linux before, Linux system, that's a command that you probably use anytime you're creating something new on a project. So yeah, but don't need to worry. We're just updating all the packages that we have and updating to the latest version. And you're going to install Python pip. Yeah, yes. The next command, make sure that you know the Python that's on your system. Otherwise, it will not run. Or if it will run, it will give you an error, and you will try debugging forever. Yeah, so now here we are going to install Python. We're going to install Python, and this is the command I would like to type it. So it's sudo apt install Python 3.12. That's the one on my system. BNB. Yes. Then you're going to create a virtual environment. Yeah. And activate it. So we have a Python 3. PNP. So what do we call our environment? Let us call it YouTube. Yeah. And you should activate it. So in So we have source, then the name, then bin activate. That's how we activate environments in Linux. And you can see here we have YouTube as a prefix in our Ubuntu. And we are going to install pandas, yeah, and S3 connection. So we have pip install pandas. And then we have pip install this S3 connection. S3, yeah. And then we are going to install Apache Airflow, and we are going to standalone it, yeah, to start it. So we have pip install Apache Airflow. Apache Airflow. Yeah, it should install, and after installing, we are going to start it as a standalone, and we're going to try to access it from our machine. Yeah, and we should let's see if it will work. Initialized, and let's see if it will create. It's creating admin user. Yes, so it should give us our password and our username and password. So it's starting on localhost 8080. So yeah, we should copy this. This is our password that we're going to be using. Don't need to save it. So let's come back here, and we have this. Copy that, and going to have that, and we're going to have colon 8080 and try to access it. Yeah, so you can see it's signing into Airflow. So this is where a lot of times you miss, and if you are not careful, you might you might end up using a lot of time here. Yeah, invalid login. So username. So the username is admin, and this is the password. I don't know why it's giving us invalid. Yeah. Yeah. So admin, and here should sign in. Yeah, and you can see we have signed in. Yeah, you can see some tags that we have here, and we have none that's active, so we are going to create ours. So what do? We come back to VS Code. I'll show you how to create a remote connection. So a window, this is our window, and the name is weather YouTube. So weather YouTube, and this is our IPv4 address, and host name is Ubuntu. Okay, so yeah, so we have yeah, so we have this. public IPv4 address copied. So I should come back here. By the time you are seeing this video, there will be no that the there will be no this program. This instance will not be running. That's why I'm showing you all this. And where we have downloaded it, it's I think it's download, and we have called it YouTube API downloads. Come to downloads. Yeah, YouTube PM. So it's YouTube PM. So it's whether YouTube, and I should save this, and then here I should come here to connect to hosts, and whether YouTube. Yeah, and should it should connect. So the system is Linux, and as you can see here, it's opening remote here at the bottom, and you should continue. And it's downloading VS Code server, it's connecting basically. Yeah, so as you can see here, we have the SSH where the YouTube means it has connected. Yeah. So yeah, so we are done with like almost the first part, that was creating the basically the architecture of the project. And now we are going to go to the creation of the files. That's the code Python file. And I want to open folder. I'm going to open home Ubuntu, and you should get our files. Yeah, so depending on your speed, this might vary, but yeah, have patience. So yeah, I trust the others. Yeah, and you can see we have this. So here in our airflow, yeah, you can see all this. I want to create a folder called tags, and tags, I want to create 3 files. Main.py, this one that will be executing the script, and then we have the weather tag, weather tag.py also, and yeah, the others you're going to implement them as you go. So we have the airflow CFG, and you're going to add path where we have the weather ETL .py, so weather tag, so weather tag.py. And here we're going to come to load examples, and I don't want all those examples, although this I've found it, sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. So the good one is when you're using Astro, it works pretty well, or Docker. That's as when you're using as a Docker image, that is. So we have DAX Airflow. So it's still 69 DAX. Yeah, so although there's some around here where we have don't use SQLite for production. Yeah, they are production ready architectures and what you use. Yeah, but for now let's use this. So we'll come back to our. So I think let's go back to weather API. Yeah, and we have the documentation for this project. You have documentation for this project. You have my API keys. Yeah, also the reason I'm showing you these keys because you will not see it. In fact, after this project, I'm deactivating it. So you can create yours. It's very easy to create once you have an account. So we'll be using this as API. Yeah, and since we have done this project and we have gotten this data to a CSV, we have also gotten this data to Postgres in Docker. Yeah, I think this is another step forward where we are going to be getting it as a CSV file. Yeah, CSV file, and then load it to AWS S3. Yeah, and it should run once. Yeah, so I think we'll get right into this. So the first, I want us to create the tag, not the tag, but the Python file. Yeah. CSV, you're going to import data, you're going to import request, you're going to import time and photo 3. Yeah, so we have so we're going to have import JSON, import CSV from datetime, import datetime, and then import requests. Oh, sorry, this should be in another line. Import requests. So requests, and then import time, and then import photo 3. Yeah, and then we have some list of cities. Copy that. Some list of cities that you have. And then you're going to have the base URL for accessing the pipeline. Yeah, so then you're going to read the API key from a file. So in our DAGs, we're going to have to create credentials.txt, and then you're going to we're going to copy this there. So yeah, so we have come back to here, and we have this copied there. Yeah, so come back to here. We're going to copy this. Yeah, so we're going to read the API key from the file. Then you're going to do some transformation. I did this code. This is the same code, by the way. Yeah, it's the same code. Whatever you're going to change, you're going to change it. We're going to add now another function to upload the SV file. Yeah, so I think I'll just copy paste this because this is a project, and I have explained whatever I did in that video where I got data from this same API to load it to Postgres and to create a CSV file. So you might want to watch that to understand whatever I'm doing. So this basically I'm getting the data as JSON, and I'm getting this in transformation. Yeah, basically the transformation. And we're going to create uh, another function that's going to upload to S3. So def upload upload to CS3 to S3. Okay, so we should have some parameters. Yeah, so parameters, one should be the file name. I think the other one should be the packet name. Yeah, so we have file name. Yeah, and then bucket name. bucket name, and we have set object name to none, object name to none, and yeah, and then you're going to have the bottom 3 client was connect to S3, so we have bottom 3.client, we have S3. Yeah, and we have object name, so we're going to set up some if statement here. Yeah, so we have object name that we have created is none, so it's none. So object name is equals to file name that you're going to be adding. Object name equals to file name. Yeah, so we are going to have a try and accept block. So you're going to try loading, and then an accept error will be we have an error loading to S3 file. So we are going to have a try statement. We're going to try, and so I think let me make this bigger for you to see it. So it's view and appearance, zoom in. So we're going to have try, and we have s3.upload file, upload file, then you have file name, this file name, then bucket name, object name. So it's just like the parameters that you have set, bucket name and bucket name. Yeah, and you're going to print, and so you have an F. So yeah, I don't know why I'm grabbing that. So you have file, and we're going to put this in. So you have file name. Want to get the name, and so it's successfully uploaded to S3 bucket, and then we have parameters for bucket name, and we have as object name. So just so we have as, also these will be object name. Yeah. So we are going to have the try, so we should have the accept. So accept, so we have exception. So we have exception. Yeah, and we have it will print statement. Yeah. So it will print that statement, and also we have I'm going to define the CSV name. Yeah. Then we're going to create a table in this CSV. And then we are going to have a header, and then we are going to upload this data and it should run for 5 seconds and wait. Yeah, and once data has been added for all cities recorded, we should upload the CSV to S3. Yeah, so I think all this I taught on the other time. So the difference is just the last line that we will be uploading to S3. Yeah, so we're going to have a main function here around here. So def main, yeah. So we're going to define CSV. So we have CSV file equals to weather. This is what we're going to be creating. Weather data.csv. So this should be in those commas. Then we're going to write the header once. Yeah. So yeah, and we are going to have to create that it should wait for five seconds or 300 seconds to say it has completed. Yeah. Then we're going to append the weather data to the CSV file. Then we're going to wait for 5 seconds for the next request. Yeah. So I think I should just paste all these. Since I've written this and we have already done this previously. Yeah, but it's very easy for understanding. I've added those comments. Yeah, and we should have the weather dag.py. And this weather dag, remember if we are creating airflow, and since we have used the airflow before, it becomes very easy. Since we have the tag is basically going to run this Python file, Python script. We have other people or another way of creating pipeline where we will have the tag and the script in the same file. Also good. Yeah, depends on how you like to do it, and you can do it in any way, by the way. Yeah, so we're going to import some modules. So from airflow, import tag. So we have all these. So we have that. We have others. Yeah, we have the parameters, the default args. So we have its airflow, the use depends on past false and email on failure false, since you have not doing that. So you have this tag name, we are going to name it as the weather ETL 3, you can just name it weather ETL. So that's, I named it that. So I was doing first this project on my own, ETL, and it uploads the generated CSV file with timestamp in file name. So it's very easy to get the timestamp you get when it was loaded. Yeah. So we have this. So it uploads the files to the step file stamp. So we have our data is in the home Stilinski. Yeah. And I want to copy this path. No, I think we should first run the python main.py and see if it's working. So we should save this and see if it's running. Python main.py, it should be getting data. Okay, so we have not activated the environment. Because we have an error. So we have The name of the environment is YouTube. So we have source YouTube and pin activate. Yeah, so we have Python 3 main.py. Started install Python 3 Python main.py. So Python can't open file in home Ubuntu main.py. Okay, so let me look at what we have here. So we have Airflow YouTube. So we have going to come to YouTube, and we are going to look at what we have here. And we have bin include. I don't have Airflow. So let me go back. Yeah. So we have ls. So we have gone to the environment, which is wrong. So we are going to go to cp airflow. And then I'm going to look at what's here. Yeah, and it should go to DAX. And let's see. Main.py. Okay, so Python can't open no such file or directory. So let me come here. See our airflow. We have some errors, some very, very good many errors. So by the way, if your DAG has an error, it cannot show. So in tax expected finally block. So I've not finished the implementation of this. And I think I'll just finish this first and see if it runs. So yeah, so let's come here. I don't know why it's not running. Okay, so yeah, so okay, so let me first try to finish this. So I'm going to create a timestamp for the file name. Yeah, and we should have the bucket name. Yeah. So let me create a bucket on on our system, and it should be S3. Yeah, so okay, so it has just opened on this window. So you have some imports that have an error, and yeah, so you're going to create buckets, and bucket name will be YouTube API. We don't even need to do any other settings, by the way. Create bucket, so that bucket name exists. We had another I. And it has created, and yeah, I'm going to upload to S3 to that, and it should have an error, and we should have a try and except block. Yeah, so copy this, so you have the weather tag. Yeah, so run that, so it's YouTube API. So I have some commands, just the bucket name, no SS3, yeah. So I've created for you some comments to make sure that you understand what you're doing if you are implementing this project for the first time. So we have a task ID. It should run with ETL. It should run the Python main.py. Yeah, we're going to go to the existing folder. So let me show you the command. So we are going to run the ETL process, and this is what we have, by the way. So we have this. So we have an ID. So it should come to this. We're going to change this. So we have it weather data. So it's weather.csv. Weather data.csv, that's the name. So we could come here. What have we named this? Named it as weather data.csv. So we should come here and it should be weather data.csv. The home Stilinski, and it should be airflow. So you should go to this and it should run main.py. So that's running the process. And then we have Python operator that is going to upload to S3. Yeah. And a task to clean local files, a bash operator. Yeah, so we have dependencies and run commands. So weather.csv. Yeah, so it's going to delete a specific file. So we are going to, after it runs, so after we upload the data to S3, we are going to delete it in our system. Yeah, to make sure that if you have set the data to run thrice, the next time it will run, there will be no CSV file here, and it will not be uploaded to S3. You have seen that? Yeah, so that's to clean. So after it uploads, it deletes from my system. Yeah, so we should run the files, and it has an error, so you should have pip install boto3. So on command. So what have I? Okay, yeah. So pip install boto3. So yeah, so it has it has recorded weather for Nairobi, London. Is it uploading? Yeah, you can see it's creating the CSV file. And let's come to our and see if errors are still there. So yeah, there's still an error. Yeah, so we have no modules. Yeah, and we should come here to S3, and you're going to create access ID. So you have security credentials. IAM role, and you're going to create secret credentials. That's the API, the access key, and the secret ID. This is what you're going to be using to connect. So it should run. It's still running. I think it should still be running. So it's recording all this weather. You have around 40 cities. So I like this weather API because you can do as much practice if you want just to learn how to access this. you can use it. So we are going to have this, and let me delete this so that I show you how I do this. I start new, so it's delete. So I've deleted this access. You must first deactivate, okay? So it's deactivating, so it was used, yeah, sometime yesterday. And here I can, so, no, it's not deactivating. You can't use the inactive key to make. Okay, so it's none, so it's inactive. So delete. It has been deactivated. Yeah, so I want to create another one. Create access key. I understand. Create. Okay, so create access key. Yes, I understand. So I want to download. Done. Yeah, so I should come on my downloads. So it's the does nothing. Active, active. Deactivate. And also this deactivate. Yeah, so I don't know, it's creating empty values. Yeah, so it's inactive, so we should delete this. Also this. And I want to create an access key. I understand, but I still want to create one. Create access key. Yeah, so I don't know why it was confusing. So you can, so don't leave this page, or if you think you leave, make sure you have downloaded that. So I want to install some file. So that's the tag that is, it's creating an error to not run Airflow. So we have, let me see if it has completed. It's still getting data. Well. What do we have here? So it has repeated. Yeah. I have data. Yeah, so we have an issue that we have an issue. Yeah, so you can see that it has it has so many cities, but it's repeating. Yeah, so what do I want? I want to add a function that when it runs once for each city, yeah, then it should stop there. Yeah. So it's just a list. So we are going to, yeah, so we should come here and clear. You should have Python main.py. You should run each city exactly once. I want to have this one. I want another terminal. Yeah, so you can install this. I want to run the command for installing the package. So source, so YouTube. But first, I think I would have want to configure AWS. YouTube being activate. But first, I can install this package. Okay. Source, YouTube being activate. You have this command. So run that. And it should come to so it's still uploading and it should be ending. You should not see Nairobi twice. Problem with the beep. So let's come here and write in color CSV. City for Manila. So there's an error uploading to, so it has finished. There's error uploading to S3. So let me see this, another error. So, and as you can see, the DAG has not yet recognized yet. So you can see it's still 69. So, so you can see that our DAG, and you can see our DAG here, the ETL. Oh, so you should have like 3 tasks. So you should have run other ETL, upload to S3, and clean local files. So we should come here should go back to S3, and we should WS configure. So you should run some commands here. So we're going to install the AWS CLI. So the apt install AWS CLI. That's the installation candidate. Okay, so AWS configure should be a space. Okay, AWS configure. Okay, yeah. Start. Okay, so let's try to use Snap version and yeah, and let's see version and let's configure. Should configure. Remember the file that we downloaded. Yeah, so let's come back to AWS. And since we did not leave this page, so we have access key copied, and should come here. So access key ID, and then we have the access AWS secret key. Yeah, so it should come here, secret access key, and yeah, so default region, you can leave it to none, but since my AWS region, my AWS S3, so if I'm to open S3 in another tab, S3 open link in another tab, we should see the region. Though here you can see it's showing global. The EC2 instance is showing Europe, Stockholm, and so it's the EU North one, and this is it should basically be EU North one. Yeah, Europe, Stockholm, EU North one, so it's EU North one. So we should come back here and so it's the EU North. Just there should be EU North one, and format name none. Yeah. So you can see I've created an AWS configuration file. Yeah. So let's come here and try running this tag. So you should schedule this, should trigger it. And the first step, it will take much time since we'll see it's running this file and it's creating new data now. There's an error somewhere. Okay, let me delete this. Let me delete this and come back here. Scheduler appears not to be running, so triggered should start at moment now. So the last start bit was received 45 seconds ago. Yeah, so let's see if it's running. So it has run the ETL. And it's saying successful clean up local files, and it has uploaded to S3. Let's see to S3. You have the API created. Okay, and it's loading weather data. and we have our data. So it's 2025, so it's 4th, so and this is the time. Yeah, so yeah, that's how we load data from an API to S3. Yeah, using a main function and using a main.py file and a weather.py. Yeah, so let's see. You know, maybe you can think that I've edited the data and loaded the data here to show you that it's good. So let me download and we'll see. But either way, you have seen that the tag is successful. The tag is successful. It's run another time and another time. So if you could come here and see the graph, yeah, you can see that it's Python operator and cleanup file. So you can see in our file there is no weather.csv. Yeah, you can see it. So it's creating a file and loading and deleting. Yeah, it's that effective, and that's how it works. Yeah, so I've downloaded that data. I want to show you what we have. Yeah, so this is the data. So this is the data. You can see it's the same 20, the same name. So this is the data. You can see it has loaded all the 44 cities, the data. So this is how you use API to load data. So if you have any question, you can comment this, or you can send me a DM, Simon Gugi, and we can debug your problem. Yeah. So I'd gladly help. The code will be available in the description of this video. Yeah, so till next time, bye.